Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the Abomination Goddess podcast. I have with me, as always, Casie Halseth. She is the author of Abomination Born. It is a fictional portrayal of her real life experiences with the mystical realms. Her action-packed books are just full of lessons, insights, and calls for other Abomination Born folks in the world to start connecting, which is what we like to do with our podcast each week. She is an award-winning public speaker, and I think that you'll find by watching this podcast and reading her books that she just effortlessly draws her audience into her world, both in her books and on the stage. She is an excellent teacher, excellent storyteller, and I am so happy to have her here. Welcome, Casie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. And I am Ashley Kim. I am the author of Villainera Goddess. It is a book that I wrote to help women on their journey to set boundaries, build confidence, and heal themselves. It is a very honest and open look at what I went through and the tools that I used to survive my villain era. I went through my journey alone, and so I wrote this book so that you wouldn't have to go it alone. I will be riding the crazy roller coaster with you, screaming my head off if you want me to.
It's a wonderful book.
You. Yay, awesome. Okay. So we start every podcast with our show and tell, and we're going to have some fun stories for everybody today. So stay tuned. It's October, and we have spooky stories to tell you. But first, show and tell. I'm going to share my screen. Awesome. Can you see it?
Yep,
Okay. Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
Let's see. You can start with the Sigil book. Yeah, I think you have this book too, don't you?
Yeah, I
Uh,
love it.
I went through this book. It's good. The Fundamental Book of Sigil Magic, by the Erebus Society, I guess it is. Anyway, I I went through this book. It's really good. It has all kinds of ideas about how to make a sigil, and I never knew what these things were called, but as long as I can remember, I've been making little symbols, and I would use them to help me on a project or something that I was working on with myself or outside of myself. Anyway, so I came away from this book with some key ideas. So you want to go to the one that I wrote down, the different points, the directions?
Yes.
That
Yeah.
one right there. Okay, so uh, what what I do is when I draw anything out, like if I'm just putting down letters and I get rid of all the vowels or something, I just put down letters one on top of the other. The end of the letters, I'll put these little symbols on the end. So if I have it pointing toward me, that means that the symbol is something that's going to help me out. And if I have it pointing away from me, it's going to be something that's moving out towards other people. And if I have it with a circle, sometimes I'll have a couple circles going out, like when you see a stone thrown into a pond, you know how it ripples out.
Oh, yeah.
But the circle to me means the ripple. And so
Mhm.
that means that it's coming from me. It's been awakened in me, and it
Yeah.
goes and it's going out. That's what that would mean.
Yes.
And then when I have the lines going out, sometimes I'll do it instead of a line going out, I'll have two dots on each
Mm.
side of the line. And that's my vision is being expanded. And so I'm
Oh,
seeing
wow.
more. So
Yeah.
this
Oh,
is my way of doing it. And you know, that's how I
yep.
do it. And
I
so
love this.
you,
Thank you.
you can go to those different pictures that I have.
Yep.
You can start with the horse, the eight of wands with the wand sticking out there.
Ooh. Oh,
All
hold
right,
on. Let me
so
get the big picture. Sorry. Here we go.
yeah, there you. Now, so that is a sigil. For me, I see that as a sigil. You see, because the
Yeah.
wands are the points going out. And remember, I've
Yeah.
always talked about, if I have a stone and it's got pointy edges to it, it means it's something going outside of myself.
Uh-huh.
So, the Eight of Wands has to do with movement. So it's me going outward to do something. It's movement forward.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Doesn't that make it easier to understand?
Yes, it does. So much easier. Um, Ooh, I love how you just put that together for us.
Yeah. And then go to some of the sigils that I just gave examples of.
Yep. Do you want
Yeah.
me to just start at the top here?
Yeah. Uh-huh. All right. So that one is, see the pointy, it's got the arrow pointing in.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is, she calls this the recognized probabilities. And so within yourself, so this is pointing in toward yourself, but also see the ends of those lines. So you're opening up your vision.
Oh, yeah. Oh
And then
my gosh.
and the circle, of course, is to me is every time a rock goes into the water, it's rippling out.
Yeah, yeah.
So if I just recently I did one that I won't tell you what it is because it's really, some of these are really private. But
Yeah,
as
definitely.
soon as I made it, it was like, oh my God, this feels so good. Oh my God,
Uh,
it feels so good. And I put it in my purse and I just like, but it these symbols, they speak volumes to me.
yeah.
Whenever I see these symbols, it just speaks volumes to me. Okay, go
Yes.
to another one and I'll show you how I read these kind of things.
Yep. This is
Okay.
so helpful.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
so and at the ends of all of these, see how the ends of all these have that. So I'm looking at the world with a bigger vision. I'm seeing outwards as if they're two eyes. And
Mm-hmm.
they're and then the circle, plus there's the line, and the line
Yep.
means I've got a thought going here. I'm coming, I've got something, I'm working towards something. And then it's rippling out. And what was this one for?
Oh, yep. Sorry. This one, to
To
promise
promote in
inspiration.
to pro- promote to
Oh,
promote
promote.
in promote inspiration. And can you see
Yeah.
how that would do that?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you
And
can feel it.
another thing, when uh, sometimes when a child is sick, for instance, and uh, without saying who in all this, but if you place a picture of a happy smile, a circle with a happy smile, here's the happy smile, and there's the circle. You are intensifying. That's the first ripple going around, and another ripple going around. That's that's what the
Yeah.
happy smile is an intensity of good coming out. So
Ooh, I like
if
that.
you want good coming out, it can,
Yeah.
especially if it's
And
coming
would
from a
you,
source, if the source
yeah,
is something like from the creator.
right. And would you add extra circles outside of the smiley face? Is like draw
You,
extra circle?
well, the whole idea of the sigil is to bring it down to only where your subconscious mind can recognize it anymore. That's
Yeah.
one thing that I really enjoyed about her book, was that uh, she, he or she, whoever wrote it, was real careful about that. You really want your subconscious mind to see it. So if I put too many ripples in, sometimes my brain will see it as ripples, and then I forget.
Mm,
Forget to have it go immediately into my subconscious. And so
right.
that's the whole idea of the sigil. You take away things that are a little too detailed. And so the
Hmm.
one circle represents that.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And
And
I had
maybe
read
a
that
half
too.
a
I forgot
circle.
about that.
Yeah. With a half a circle inside of it, like the smiley face.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's even more subconscious of the double ripple, triple ripple, going out.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, that is so fun.
There's one. And there's the
Oops.
circles on the ends. And so this is
Yep.
all going within you. And now this is to promote creativity. And can you
Yep.
see how that would do it? This is
Yes.
how to create. You want the creativity of the universe within you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just
Oh,
rippling
there we
all
go.
over the
Now I see
place.
it. It is.
In her vision, see the cross line there? You've got the cross at the bottom. That's in
Mm-hmm.
it's the way I see it is in the vision, and it's just within everything. And then it's even amplified by this half circle at the top. To me,
Mm-hmm.
that's like the the extra spin. It's like, can't you see, it doesn't make it when you have a half a spin like that, it's making it, let's go faster.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh. This is so cool.
It's how I didn't realize that other people did things with stuff. I didn't know what sigils were, after reading this, I realized, oh, I've been doing this all my life.
Yeah. Don't you love it
Um,
when something like that
yeah,
happens? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Now here's one. See, it is promote eloquence. So
Mhm.
this is towards yourself. See, the arrow is
Oh,
pointing
I made it
inward.
too big. Sorry. Okay, there we go.
That's okay. It's pointing in. It's the arrow is pointing towards yourself,
Hmm.
and also you're getting this. Every time I see the circle, like the universe bringing it in. So it's coming from the universe, and it's different than just an arrow pointing, moving. That's me going somewhere, something coming out. This is something coming in. This is
Hmm.
greater than
Yeah.
the great source,
Yep.
or the you know
Yeah. Oh, I love this so much.
so like if
You
you
have,
if
yeah.
you if you just wanted to, like, you could take let's say you wanted more money or something like that, you could take how they got the symbol of the S with the double lines at
Hmm.
through it. That's the symbol for money. Well, to uncomplicate it, so your conscious mind doesn't see it anymore, you can take away maybe one of those lines, and then keep the S, but maybe don't connect it all the way so that the subconscious mind doesn't see that S anymore. Make it so
Oh,
it's not quite so easy to see or
yep.
easy to notice, but so that your subconscious knows it. And then
Hmm.
put a little symbol on like, if you want the money to flow from your creativity, put circles on the ends of it. And if you want the
Oh,
money maybe to flow into you, to come to you, then put an arrow pointing into you. And if you
mhm.
want the money, if you want to be able to be wise with your money, how if that's your issue, is you spend too much, you want to be careful with your money, then you'd have it maybe pointing out, and maybe even putting a circle around the pointing out part.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It's,
oh, I love that.
these basic ways to handle the symbols is a communication.
Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh, you need to teach a class on this, Casie. This is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I feel
remember
like
when
you
I was
took that.
little, I used to do this, and I had we had two little shelves, and we could put whatever we wanted on our little shelves by our beds, my sisters and I. And I remember I'd had these little tiny. I'd always do it on a little tiny little. I always did everything really small, and a little. I would draw something, and to me, it meant the world. I'd make little symbols or whatever,
Mhm.
and anytime I looked at that, it would mean something to me.
Yeah, yes, I love this. Oh, this is so cool. And I just like too how it is subconscious. Like you're making that as a child, and I'm just
Mhm.
thinking back to my own daughters and how often they did things like that, and
Mhm.
and you're right, it's very precious to you.
And then you can do, like, if you have if you're an artist or want to put something onto your tools, like maybe on a wooden spoon or something like that, you could do the same thing. What is this for? What do you want to do with it? Do you want to put an arrow on it? Are you putting something
Yeah.
toward something? Do you want maybe a circle on one end and an arrow on the a point on the other end, so that it's something that's coming from the great universe, going
Yeah.
towards something. You know,
Yep.
there's there's things that you can use for the tools that you use, even like if you've got a pencil or something, or um, I remember I used to write something on tape, and I would tape it around something.
That's a great idea. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Yeah. And I was just thinking too, I wrote the words happy, healthy, and I have it taped to our big 5-gallon water dispenser
Yeah, yes,
after learning about how water can receive those messages as well. But sigils would be good
yes,
for that too.
yes,
I mean, we could
yes,
just keep slapping more sigils on as
yes,
we think of them.
yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
And the first sigil that became world famous, of course, is the happy smile in a ball. And
Mhm.
what did that come in the early 80s, maybe late 79 or something like that? It
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, the whole world responds to sigils. Now we call them emojis.
Well, that's true. I didn't think about that. Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. I
Um,
love it. I love symbols.
yes, they definitely speak to you. And then the horse
Well, you can just
came,
go to the animal totem book and
yeah, this
just a
one.
reminder, that's where I got it from. Yeah,
Yep.
was by Lisa Robertson.
Yeah.
I just love I-
Yeah.
as soon as I pulled that card, that was my card that I pulled for today. And as soon as I pulled it, I thought, oh my God, it's a sigil too. And when you see these different cards, the tarot cards, they do have, if you really look at it from a symbol point of,
Mm-hmm.
a sigil,
Mm-hmm.
um, they really do say a lot just by
Yeah.
looking at, is it a point? Is it going in? Is going out? And then
Mm-hmm.
you can look at what color they are. Colors will
Yeah.
have a lot to do with it.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it all.
Hmm. Me too. And that's all. That's all I had.
Okay. Oh, well, that was amazing. Um, all right, let's start with my new book that I just got. So I just ordered, I think I've talked about this probably once every other month, but I am very into looking at the quote unquote weeds growing in my backyard or just around us and
I
figuring out
love
what
that.
these plants are. And then I found this book, and it's called Edible Wild Plants for Beginners. And oh, does it not? It doesn't say who it's by. Oh, that's craziness. Who is this by? It doesn't. It says Callisto Publishing, but there is no author. So I'm not sure who made this. Oh, that's interesting. I've never seen a book that didn't have an author on it. Okay. And this is a very cool book. So as an example, I just wanted to show you if we look at lamb's quarters, um, it gives you all the common names for it. I love that because I hear plants being referred to by different names all the time.
Yes,
It gives,
yes.
yeah, it gives you a
Pigweed.
description.
Oh, yes.
This is so helpful. Distinguishing features, flavor, habitat, seasons, edible parts, which obviously is good to know what you can and can't eat. You get a
Yeah.
picture of the plant, shows you
That's
what
a
it
good
looks
picture
like.
too.
Yeah, they all are. Um, Collection. Okay, so how to collect the plant if you want to use it, preparation, other uses, and then any cautions. So like for example, this one says just make sure that you're not picking around areas where people are using weed killer because obviously you don't want to ingest that. Um, but there were other plants on here, like cattails and things like that, which I didn't even know that you could use a cattail for anything. I thought it was just pretty. So anyway, yeah, I am
That's a
loving
good
this
book.
book. Yes. I recommend it very much. Let's see. Okay, so that's one of my newer things. Another thing, excuse my messy altar, I like to just keep adding to it. I am in the middle of doing a like a cleansing ritual for my womb, hips, thighs, waist area, because that's where I hold a lot of my trauma. And part of it is you light this candle and then you let it burn. And I started this not realizing this candle burns for days. And so you do the ritual, and the lady that I learned it from, she said, just pay attention to what comes up, like process any emotions, pains, thoughts, like whatever that comes up while you're doing it. And so I've started this Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. It's still going, and it has been kind of a wild ride. I honestly didn't think much would come up, but I was like, oh, I'm just going to give it a shot. Nope, yeah, a lot has come up. And basically, it's to heal father wounds, which this was a whole other like deep dive I went into. So, fibroids, for example, are made out of your father's genetics, not your mother's and not your own. And so, when they cut them open and look at them, scientists were very surprised to see that it came from your father. And so, and obviously, fibroids are very harmful to us women. It holds us down, weighs down our bodies, we're bleeding, we're hurting, everything, right? And so part of that, besides medical, I'm not telling anyone to never go to the doctor. But besides medical, there is energy, there's emotion, there's trauma, things like that that you need to release as well. And so that's why I'm doing this. Yeah, so it has been a wild ride, but I'm glad I'm doing it though.
I put my dad on my the hood of the car,
Mhm.
you know, I imagined him sitting on the hood of the car, and whenever I would drive, I had him on the hood of the car, and I would talk to him, you know, and little bit by little bit, anything, because we take on things that we think it's our fault, or we think that we've done this, or it's everything is us, and I was giving back to him this
Yeah.
pain
Oh,
all the time because I used to have to drive quite a bit. This was when we lived in Arizona, and just to go from one town to the next, it's a good long drive, sometimes long dirt road. And
right.
and, and so I didn't really have to think too much because the roads were straight, not like here in the Ozarks where you really have to watch where you're going. The roads curve so much. But so I would go on these long rides and drives, and I had him on the front of the car, and uh, I was talking to him the whole time. I would give him back his pain, and it really, 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 especially like the fibroids like you're talking about. Oh yeah, I noticed a huge change.
Really? Oh, I love that idea. And yeah, I love that.
And he didn't even want me to take on those pains.
No, yeah,
No, that
exactly.
wasn't his intent at all. And he was,
Right.
every once in a while he'd turn his face around and look at me. But this is just his imaginary person. This wasn't a
Right.
spiritual him.
Right.
I'm just imagining it. But every
Yeah.
once in a while, he would turn and look at me while I'm driving. It's like, really, I did that to you? And I realized that I had taken it on. I had taken on so much. It was
Yes.
silly.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, and not, yeah, like you were saying, it's not always that your father was purposely giving anything to you, but it is
Right.
still a father wound that, yeah, you do still have
Yes.
to heal.
Yes.
Yeah. And so,
Yes.
yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. That's one of the many things that I'm doing. The other thing I'm doing is there's another ritual I'm doing, but I'm going to keep this one personal. But what I did do is when I started it, I was like, is this weird? Is it silly? Because I've been trying to do more things of like, what did my ancestors a long time ago do before, we were all put into these little boxes we're in. Anyway, so I started doing my ritual. Only my husband knows about it, because I think my family would just disown me anyway. But I just was like, I just need a sign. And I said, give me blood red flowers in this one area of my yard if I'm on the right track. And so yesterday I
Oh,
looked outside in the backyard. I'm like, are those is that a blood red flower? And so yeah, I had them and it was in the area of my yard. And here's like a close up. So it's a clover blooming. But yeah,
that
I
is
had them.
amazing.
Yeah. And so I was so happy. I was like, okay, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Um, and it wasn't even like I was like on my knees, like, give me a sign. It was more of like a, if I see blood red flowers in my yard in the next couple days, I'm gonna know I'm on the right track. That was literally the only thought I had. And then I looked out there and yeah, saw these beautiful flowers in my backyard. So I just had to share that.
Doesn't it?
uh,
We are being listened to all the time. I,
we
I
are.
once I once saw all these beings around me, just like angels and everything else. I mean,
Mhm.
just hundreds and hundreds of them. And this wasn't the time with all the women. This is another time. And they made me realize that all of us are so important, and they're all watching and rooting for us. Come on, you can do it. Come on, get it right.
Right.
Fix all the generations in the past, but just
Yeah.
change your thinking. Come on, you can do it.
Yes. Yeah.
One
Yeah.
person within a family system can change the entire family system.
Right.
Oh,
Right. Yeah. And I think yep. And it was what I needed because that is what I'm doing right now. I am changing the family system. I'm changing generations, ancestors. I'm changing
hmm
everything right now.
Yes.
And yeah, to have these flowers out there, saying, "Yep, you're doing it. This is what you're supposed
Yep.
to be
Yep.
doing," was
Yep.
what I
Yep.
needed. Yeah.
Yeah, I can just see somebody, somebody on the other side there commanding somebody over here who's in charge of the plants. So that's your department. You take care of that right now.
Yeah. And
Let
I
her
think
know
too
she's
that,
on the right path.
and it was like, what a powerful reminder that that's a whole plant. That isn't like
Yes,
a dream or a vision, which those are powerful too, but this is a physical plant.
yes. And it's
That,
such an unusual color for those. Those are usually kind of more like a lighter purple color, aren't they?
yeah, yep. Yeah, so we'll
That,
see if I did plant a lot of clover in my yard. None of it has bloomed at
I,
all, except for
yeah,
these. So we'll see if, maybe it's
that
just like a
is,
red clover. I don't know. I'll have to Google it to see if that's a thing. But
they
yeah,
they do have them. It's just, yeah.
so yeah, that's my flower. And then the other thing I think you and I have talked about, excuse my horrible handwriting and any spelling errors because I don't spell. Um,
Either do I.
but yeah, I have been working on a list of just raising my vibration, but then also like, like spreading light and love throughout my neighborhood and my community. And so I've just been with talks with you and with other podcast guests, kind of keeping my own little list of like, if I'm feeling a certain way, well, am I actually doing these things or did I forget, if that makes sense? So I have sweep outside, light and love, and I got that from you. Um, I have been burning incense outside for me and the neighbors is just like I don't know, I just love smoke. And so I just each night I sit outside just to look at the sky, just sit with the bugs and I burn my incense. And then, yeah, I do that each night. Um, let's see. This was from, oh my gosh, Ozarks. What was his name? I cannot believe I just,
Oh, Brandon Weston?
thank you. Brandon Weston. So he was talking about salt baths. And so I put that on here because I really liked that idea. And then I heard another lady on TikTok talking about washing your hands with salt water. Um, I liked that idea too. And then I was also thinking because my husband and I, we wash our feet before we go to bed every night, no matter what. Even if we showered 2 hours ago, there's just something about going to bed with clean feet. But I thought, oh, I might start incorporating salt when I do that too, and just kind of cleanse even more. And then just saying good morning with joy and love out my back door or even my front door. To the animals, to everybody. I think it sounds silly, but it makes me feel
No.
better and
Yeah.
it raises my vibration. And then silent prayer, we were talking about that. We've talked about that on a few podcasts,
Mhm.
but just holding that and yeah, not begging, not putting a ton of attention behind it, but just holding it. And I don't know, that really connected with me. So this is my little list that I've been keeping in my journal, and I just keep adding to it as I think of things.
I love it. I love it. And saying good morning to everything. I didn't know that I was an animist. That's somebody who believes there's a spirit or spirit personality in everything.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
and so I, I thought everybody did. I thought everybody knew that. I'm talking
No.
to the sidewalk. Our sidewalk is, with the last earthquake, it kind of starts go sideways a little bit, and it broke a little bit.
Hmm. Oh, I
It's
love
like,
that. Yes.
ah,
And I didn't realize that either. My youngest does that. She says goodnight to her bedroom, her walls, her curtains, her bedding, and then to her stuffies that are alive, not to the ones that aren't alive, only to the ones that are. And yeah, she just goes through that each night. But yeah, talking with you more, I'm like, oh, that's
yeah,
exactly what she's doing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And it
yeah,
cracks me up that she does have stuffies that are alive and others that aren't.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
okay, I think that was all that I had. Um, yeah, so it's been a busy week. Let's see. I'm just looking at my list. So one of the things that I wanted to bring up, I was at a wedding on Saturday and they had this really cute idea. They had a table that had cards, glow sticks, puzzles, like all these things that you could do, while you're waiting for things to happen at weddings. Sometimes there's not a lot of other things to do. So I I took one of the box of cards and I was shuffling them and handing and then dealing them between me and my daughter. And I was like, Emma, I dreamt about this. Like, we've done this before. This exact color of cards, our outfits where we're sitting at this table, the drinks around us, all of this has happened before. And she was like, oh, what? Like she thought that was cool. And so obviously I started doing like a deep dive on like deja vu and things like that. And there's a lot of like scientific stuff out there that talks about how your brain recognizes patterns out of order or something like that. And that's what scientists think it is. I didn't think that's what it was though. Anyway, but so then I was kind of going on a deep dive, but I wanted to ask you, Casie, if this is something that your family has ever talked about or like any experiences with you in this category of, yeah, deja vu.
Oh yeah, deja vu for sure, all the time. I've had it many, many, many times. And I know when I was in taking psychology at the college, the deja vu, could be from something going on in the temporal lobe. You might be having a little bit of an epileptic attack or something. There's all these different things that it comes from your brain, your snapshot of what's happening doesn't register quick enough into the brain. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, I suppose that's for everybody, but not for me. I know, I
Right.
know. I know I'm being shown something. And now, are you familiar with the opposite of that is Jamas Fu?
No, what is this?
I had
Okay.
to look it up
Yeah, I
because I
need to
couldn't
write this
remember
down.
how to spell it or anything. It's Jamasvu, Jamas Fu.
Okay.
And that's when something you know to be familiar, and then you look at it, and all of a sudden you don't know what the heck it is, or where'd this come from? What? I don't know what this is for, or why is this mine? You know,
Oh my
that's
gosh, I
Jama's
didn't know there
food.
was a term for that.
Yes, Jama's food. Yes,
Oh my goodness. All right.
yes. And of course, in psychology class, they explain it again. It's something going on with the brain. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's also what it is for me, everything is on that grid,
Mhm.
it's woven, everything is woven together, and there's a little glitch in the matrix, the
Yep.
the web. There's a little glitch going on, and sometimes that's what we're experiencing is this glitch.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. I was while I was going down my rabbit hole on this, some people were talking about, living multiple timelines and sometimes they either intersect and like you're doing this on every single timeline, and maybe that's why it feels like it, or maybe you've already done it on another timeline. So yeah, I don't know, I just find it fascinating on how you can have a memory of something that you technically haven't done before. And so this one was one where I felt like I had dreamt it, whereas other times it's like, whoa, like it is just like I know this, but I don't know how I know it. But with this time, I felt like I had dreamt this. But yeah,
Yeah, it does
I
feel like,
think
yes, yes. Now, when
yeah.
you look at it from a scientific point of view with quantum
Mhm.
physics, they don't really understand it. Not really. It
Yeah.
has to do with possibilities. And so when you go into the very small and you go smaller and then you go smaller and smaller and smaller into what makes that moment.
Yeah.
So something happened that the possibilities uh, were off by a little bit. The
Ah,
possibilities of how all the molecules arranged themselves so that this would happen here and this would happen here was just slightly off. And so
mhm.
there you've got your little people down there on a quantum level, on a micro level, putting things together. Quick, she wants this. She's doing this. They're getting it all together,
Uh-huh.
and someone dropped the ball.
Someone pulled the green lever, not the blue one.
Exactly, exactly. And,
Oh, I
and
love it.
so quantum physics is all about the possibilities of how something is going to be. And
Yeah.
when we observe it is when it's supposed to be done. Our observing of
Yeah.
it is, but somewhere down there they goofed and something happened. or that's not what she wanted. Yes, she did. No, she didn't. Maybe something
Right.
like that. I always see
Yeah.
it as whenever I go down into the quantum level, uh, I see it as little people, they're
Yeah. Little
they eat,
Keebler elves.
of course I see everything as a personality spirit. So
Yeah.
everything has a personality. And so there's a little bit of disagreement going on there. And
Oh,
then
I love it.
Jamas Vu is the same thing, except when I've observed something, they've got it all together. You forgot to show it to her, you forgot to put it in her consciousness. She's not gonna remember it, And so they're quickly putting it back together again. So when I look at it again, it's like, oh, okay, now I know what it is. But
Hmm.
yes.
Yeah. I love this. I like it. I'm gonna be picturing the Keebler elves in my brain, like,
Yes.
we gotta go.
Yes.
Go, go,
Yes.
go,
I
go.
see them as little round, transparent grapes with
Oh, really?
with a smile, a pencil
Yeah.
smile face on, no
Yeah.
eyes, but just a pencil smile face. And
Hmm.
to me, they smell like grapes.
Hmm.
And I call them all the ancient of days. Every one of them,
Yeah.
they're all one being, but they're aspects of the same being, and they all have their little jobs to do and they all do things. So
Yeah.
I've named them.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
I
I
named
love
them
it.
years ago. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, if anyone else has any takes on deja vu or anything, comment on our podcast because I
Yeah,
don't know,
or
it's so fun to talk about.
Jamas
Or
view.
Jamis. Yeah, or Jamis view. Yeah. Jamis view. I need to practice saying that. Um, okay, so since we're in October and we have a couple weeks until we have more guests on, I thought we could start sharing some of, I call them spooky stories, but they're not. It's just maybe to people who don't have some of the same thing, some of the same things happen. But we could just kind of share some stories, maybe a couple of piece today. And then I I like sharing stories because I feel like there are a lot of people out there that don't realize how normal they are because no one else is talking about anything,
Yeah.
um, or some people might feel bad because maybe they saw a ghost and they think, oh my gosh, does that mean that I'm like evil because I can see things and so you're not, by the way. You're just normal. You can just see
Yeah.
things. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I thought if it's okay with you, we can share a couple stories and I can go first or you can go first. It doesn't
You
matter
you
to
can go
me.
first.
Okay. My first one is going to be I'm going to share my story of the Green Man. So, the house that I lived in for a couple years before I got divorced, we had two big trees out front, and one of them had a green man living in it, and which sounds, I know that what it sounds like, but one night, and he always stayed outside, like we ignored each other. But one night he came inside and we were all in bed and he woke me up by bringing his hand down my spine because I was sleeping on my tummy. Ice cold, woke me up. I was so mad that he woke me up that way. And so I, gasped and jumped up and my husband at the time, now my ex, was like, "What? What's happening?" And so I told him like it's a green man, looks like he has green bark, that's what he's made out of. And he just woke me up and he's ornery. He's not evil, but he's ornery. And I don't know why he's in the house. And so by this point, my ex was used to these weird things that I would say. And so then I watched him and I was like, well, he's going into our daughter's room. And so then he went in there and I heard my daughter, she was 2, giggling and laughing and she had been sleeping, so he woke her up. And so I was like, oh darn it. And so then he didn't stay in there long. And then he went into my son's room. And then I heard my son, he was 5. Sorry, I have to think. I'm like, so long ago. He was 5. And I heard him yell, get out. Because I had told him, if you don't like who's in your room, you can always yell, get out. So he did. So he woke up my son. My son yelled, get out. And then he left the house. And then I had a freezing bag for probably another good hour. And he never came in again, probably because we all yelled at him, except for my daughter who thought he was great. Um, but yeah, that is my story of the green man who lived in our front yard in the tree. And to this day, when I drop my kids off at their dad's house, I'll kind of just wave at the tree, like, "Hey, how you doing? Hope you're still good." Yeah, so that was mine. Not spooky in the sense of like a jump scare, but spooky in the sense of that some people can handle knowing that there might be ghosts, but maybe not other entities. And there are. And yeah.
There
And he
are.
was not evil, but he was very ornery. And he was too ornery to be allowed back into the house.
And what time of the year was it? Do you remember? Was it cold out?
That is a good question. I don't remember. It might have been cold out. Um yeah, because
This
our air
what
conditioner wasn't on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this time of the year, if it was around this time of year,
hmm
they say the veil is thinner.
I think it
And
might have been this time of year.
yeah,
Yeah.
when the veil is thinner, it's so much easier for them to, well, for us to see them, the veil becomes thin, so we become closer to them.
Yeah.
Be- Yeah,
Yep. Yeah. And
not so
yep.
hard for them to come down. It's not so hard for us to go up.
Yeah. It was
Like
very
about three
interesting.
o'clock in the morning or midnight or
Um, I don't, we were asleep, so I bet it had to be closer to midnight. I don't think it would be as late as 3 in the morning. But yeah, because I know we were all asleep because he woke me up. It was icy cold, just right down my spine. Oh, I was so mad.
when we get afraid, it's either fight or flight. And so so you've got the flight. I have the third one, which is deer in the headlights. Like
On. Yeah. Yep.
I'll just stare at things, and it takes a little while for my brain to kind of take over. And I will do that because I will start to fight and I don't want to hurt anything that I shouldn't
Yeah.
hurt. So I
Yeah.
kind of instinctively try to do that first if I can.
Yes. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
And
want to hurt them.
I was proud of myself and that I did, well, obviously I was very upset about being woken up with freezing cold down my back, but um I was proud of myself that I just kind of observed and, if he wasn't hurting anybody, then I wasn't going to get nasty.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
since he was waking the kids up, I was like, okay, like you gotta go. Like we
Yeah.
got school tomorrow, like we're
Like he can
busy.
stay in the tree. He can stay in the
Yes.
yard.
Yeah, you can stay in the yard. Yep. So we had that tree decorated. So yeah, yeah, he needed to go home.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah. So that was my first one. Do you want to tell one or do you want me to keep going? What do you want
I
to do?
just have one main one. So
Oh,
you want me to
okay.
tell mine then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We had we had moved here to the Ozarks from Arizona, and I immediately started to get the broom out and sweep,
Mhm.
so I always would sweep. I'd sweep light and love. I'm just sweeping my intentions out, you know. I just always have done that outside and inside. I know that a lot of people are really picky about the brooms, but if the broom wants to do it for me, I will use the broom, and then I'll if I bring that same broom inside, because we walk inside from outside. I don't have anyone take off their shoes, so there's
Yeah.
stuff on the carpets and stuff. So anyway, I will sweep the house and sweep it out the door,
Mhm.
and just sweep. Well, we when we moved here, the beings weren't used to someone who swept.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't, they're the Ozarks is just loaded with entities. I mean,
hmm
I thought there were a lot in Sedona, but it's nothing compared to the Ozarks. Nothing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. And Al was noticing uh something in the trees. And
hmm
this was in the time of the year that there were no leaves on the trees. It was not really cold, but not really warm yet. You had to be kind of bundled up, but all the leaves were gone off the tree. So it was
Yeah.
after the fall of all the leaves, and he was noticing. something in the trees. And every day he would say, there's something in the trees. And I said, well, what do you mean? And this was huge. It wasn't a little something in the trees. This was huge.
Yeah.
And one day, one of his friends had come down here and he saw it up in the tree also. And we have a big hill behind our house. Everything's hills in the Ozark. We have a big hill behind our house. And I was walking the driveway just for some exercise, walking our driveway, and I looked up the hill, and there in a tree on the hill was this. What it looked like was, if you could imagine a Bigfoot, like a 9 to 10 foot tall creature
Yeah.
standing tall in a tree on a
Oh my
limb.
goodness.
We've got those
Yeah.
great big oak trees here with the big limbs
Hmm.
that go out straight out. And he had over him, he had a mirror that reflected what was behind him. And
Really?
yes, and he would jump from one tree like 30 feet away to the other tree up on a high limb. And you could
Hmm.
just see that limb move, a big, heavy limb. You could see that move. And then he would jump to the other one. And he had that same mirror on him. And when he would go, we're talking about the ripple, the water ripple. So
Yeah.
the air would have a ripple around it as it would leap across. And it would,
Really?
yeah, and it landed in the other tree. And so I'm looking up at actually, it was over here. It was on the other tree. And that thing didn't know what to think of me, because who are you? Because he could not come down here anymore. He used to be able to walk down here.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
not going to go up there
Hmm.
and sweep. I'm not a fanatic, you know, just just where we walk and where we live.
Right, right.
I mean, I let other people be, other
Right.
personality spirits be wherever they are.
Yeah.
And he was not happy with me at all, but all at the same time he had a respect for me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, and the uh, um a few days later, Al's friend, I showed Al where I was when I saw it, and
Hmm.
he was so glad that somebody else saw something,
Yep.
and
Yep.
uh it was like the size of a gorilla, but
Oh my
you
gosh.
couldn't see it. You saw what was behind it, and then there's just a little shape around it where it wasn't perfect.
Right. Yeah.
And his friend came down and went down the edge of the driveway to where I had shown Al where it was, and he saw it too. And so
Yeah.
he he says, "Oh man, it's not a good place." But we don't look at it as something scary. But this thing was really surprised that someone had moved down here that
Hmm.
swept.
Hmm. Yeah. So do you think he was just checking you out? Like, who would be even doing this here?
Well, I was right in his path. You see, well, I don't know. I
Um,
got this, how we have this blood talk going to
yep.
where I,
Yep.
I hear things and I know things. So like
Yeah.
his path is, he used to come right down our driveway, and it's a wonderful path. And then we're right against the creek on this other side is this
Hmm.
creek, and it's just a wonderful way to walk. So
Yeah.
and he used to go down the creek, but with my sweeping, the sweeping goes right out to that. That's too close to the
Yeah.
house. And
Yeah.
so I didn't, I don't mean to put barriers up, but I kind of do.
Right. Right.
you know, and
Yeah.
this is ours now. I'm putting out my scent, this is my scent.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
nobody can come past my scent. And I keep us safe. And yeah, he's like, "Who are you?" you know,
Where did you come from?
yeah. Who are you? It always reminds me of this one man who said to my twin sister and I once, "You guys really think you're that powerful?" And we both looked at each other and said, "Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we are."
Yep. Oh, I love it. So have you seen him since?
No, no, I haven't. Every once in a while, I will hear something going in. I will hear something in the trees, but it'll be at a time of night where I wouldn't be able to see that clearly, you
Oh,
know.
okay. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So he changed his route then, huh?
yeah, he did. His route
Yep.
is up that way. Now, there's going to be a house built on the property behind our property. They bought 20 acres
Mm.
back there, and
Mhm.
uh, I'm kind of interested what's going to happen because I
Yeah.
think that he passes he passes up there, and I kind of wonder what'll happen.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah, yeah,
See if they have any stories. They might not want to tell anybody. They'd be scared to tell anyone. Oh, that is so cool. It is just so fascinating what all is out there, just to come, yeah. I mean, basically face to face, right? With an entity like that. That is so
yeah.
cool.
He was staring at me, holding onto the tree. He had his hand against the tree, and
Yep.
his legs apart, and he's just looking at me like, "Who are you?" So funny.
My goodness, you're like, I'm nice, but this is my place now, so sorry about it.
Sorry.
Yep. Oh my gosh, I love that. That is so cool. And I'm glad that yeah, that it turned out okay. That yeah, everything was good to go and he's not too
I wouldn't
upset
want to
and
mess with him. I wouldn't want to mess
mm-mm,
with him at all.
no.
I wouldn't want
Yeah.
to mess with him. But I think that he would be he would help me out if I had to. If I think I could, if I needed to, if something happened on the planet and we needed some
Yeah.
muscle,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I think we
Yeah.
could call on him. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he was checking you out, not because, yeah, he was checking you out because he really didn't know, like, it would be like a human seeing a Bigfoot, like it was a Bigfoot seeing a human. Well, not a human, a powerful person. Yeah, I bet he was like going back and telling all his friends and family, like, you are not going to believe what I just saw.
Yeah, yeah. We have to have a new route.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that is so cool. I love this. Um, all right. Well, let's see. I might save my story for next time because I think,
Oh,
yeah, I think next week we're open to, and yeah, we can keep sharing stories. I love hearing stories like this. I think mostly, it just helps my nervous system because I like hearing that other people have, you know, these, I was going to say adventures, that's not the right word, but experiences. And yeah,
there's
yep,
definitely more to this world than most people know.
right. Which I kind of like, that also makes me feel better of, I think it'd be kind of disappointing if this was it, So
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's
yeah.
true.
My daughter was asking me about aliens and she was like, "Do you think that there are aliens?" My middle daughter. And I was like, "Yeah, I do, but also, wouldn't you be disappointed if there weren't? Like if we were it? Like isn't that kind of boring and disappointing?" But yeah, and I don't know what's been going through her brain, but yeah, she said, "Do you think there's aliens?" And I said, "Yeah." And she's like, "Do you think there are some on Earth with us?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Do you think that somebody could be one and not realize it?" And I was like, "Yeah." But I don't know where any of this came from. But yeah, she brought it up. We talked about it for a little bit. So I feel like we should have see if Heidi Taylor will come on and the two of you can talk through something like that because I feel like you guys would have amazing insight on that. Um,
Every
I didn't
once
really.
in a while, the beings they will come into someone and
Mhm.
and take over their body for a little while.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I don't know where she stumbled across it, but yeah, it's in her brain right now. So she's been thinking about that. And that's what I like about all this is I feel like the universe, the source, whatever, does put stuff in your brain to start thinking about, and then more answers start to come, and then more answers start to come, and before you know it, you're knowledgeable about a topic that you didn't even know that you would want to be knowledgeable about. So yeah.
And we are right now entering that. time where the veil is thin.
Mhm.
It
Yeah,
becomes,
true.
grandma always thought it was the thinnest on the 31st.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it begins to thicken back up again. It doesn't thicken back up like right away. It starts to thicken back up again. Becomes
hmm
difficult,
Yeah. Yep.
difficult
So,
to see.
yeah, everybody listening, this is a good time. The veil is thin.
Hmm.
So, awesome. Yay. Okay. Well, thank you. This was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed your story.
I
Yeah,
enjoyed yours.
it's so
You're great,
cool.
man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was yeah, one of my fun stories. I don't tell a lot of people, but yeah, I like it. So
Everybody should go out and get a broom, start sweeping.
yes. Yeah, go out and get a broom. Yes, definitely. Yeah, I love it. Okay, awesome. Yay. Okay, we will see everybody next week. And thank you, Casie, for joining me. I just love our talks each week. So
Me too.
yay. Awesome. All right, bye everybody.
Bye.